Yes. All right. Hi, my name is Jennifer from the Uncut Podcast, and I'm with Alyssa.
Hi.
So Alyssa and I met through social media on Instagram. She's actually one of my good customers and a follower of mine, and I decided to do this little podcast journey. And I asked, who would be interested, and she was one, and I'm like, that's cool because she's a pretty secretive person online, so I cannot wait to pick her brain and get to know more about her.
Yeah.
I do know she is a mother of two. She has a
I
boy and a
am.
girl. You're so
I
lucky. I
do.
wish I had a boy and girl. I would have been done. I would have been done. I had to stay
Yeah.
at 4, keep on trying. Now I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, can you share an event or an experience you believe significantly impacted your life? For the good or the bad. Yeah, it could be good or bad. Like, you maybe met your husband, maybe you went to a certain school and you met your best friend.
Well, I met my husband. I was actually dating his best friend, so
Oh,
that
that's juicy.
didn't go as it was supposed to because I worked at the mall and I worked at Journeys and I was 16 years old and
Oh,
he worked at the McDonald's down there and my boyfriend at the time was like, oh yeah, I want you to be my best friend. And I'm like, okay. Went down there and I'm like, oh shit, I already have a crush on this guy, so this is not gonna be good for me. And yeah, so it was not good, but he became my best friend and we were like best friends for 2.5 years until me and my ex broke up, and then that's when he made his move.
oh, he got in
Uh-huh.
there.
Yeah. And then we stayed like secret on and off for like maybe 12 years. And
Is it because of her, like his friend? It's
yeah,
awkward. Okay.
my ex, yeah. And I'm somebody who hates secrets, so the fact that we did, whatever, and it just the guilt killed me. I had to tell my ex, and Eddie hated me for a very long time. Um yeah, but then the back and forth and, you know, and then
That's
I couldn't take seeing him anymore, just around or bumping into him. So I moved to Florida because I could not do it anymore. He hurt me so many times and, he had all these other girlfriends, but never really committed to me. So I was like, I'm out of here. And then about 2 years later, I think I came home to visit, like around Christmas time, and I bumped into him at Target.
oh,
And I like texted my best friend, and I was like, I give him 2 months before he's down here. Literally 2 months later, he was down there with me, and now we're married with 2 kids.
all history.
Yeah,
Hey, it happens for a reason, right?
it does. You can't help who you fall in love with.
No, actually, funny story. My ex, which is my daughters, all 3 of them, their father, he dated my best friend. So it's kind of like the same thing, but that was like a quick thing that didn't work. They didn't last long at all. It was like a one and done. And then he was like, I really, it was such a funny story when we met. She made me go to the store with her because she's like, oh, she's really shy. There's this cute guy. I want to go, blah, blah. So I go with her. So she's like, he's over there, blah, blah, blah. He's at the register. So I was like, okay, well, I go up to him and I was like, oh, hey, my friend thinks you're cute. She was hiding in another aisle. We're like 19. We're like 18, 19. And I was like, my
Mhm.
friend thinks you're cute. Can she get your number? And he's like, well, how about you give me yours? I'm like, okay, fine. So I gave it to him, whatever. So I left. And then I think the next day he had called and she's too shy to even talk to him on the phone.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
had to talk to him on the phone, but we sounded a lot alike. So
Mhm.
I would talk and then he thought it was her. He's like, is this the girl with the glasses or the other one? And I'm like, no, it's the other one. He's like, oh, I thought I was talking to the girl with glasses. So long story short, it was funny. At the very beginning, he thought the whole time he was actually talking to me. He was talking to her.
That is funny.
So yeah, that was funny. And speaking of secrets, what is the last lie that you told? It could be something small.
I literally just do like a white, like little small white lies. Like I literally, it kills me to my core. I think maybe my last lie, I'm sure it was, I don't even know. Um, because I don't really lie. I don't,
Oh, come on. It's got to be
I know, I'm
something.
trying to think. I'm trying to think. I know it's not nothing exciting. If anything, it's probably
Something
like,
tiny, yeah.
yeah, something probably to do with
You're
the
like,
kids that I told
it was
Eddie.
only $20 and it was actually 30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
something small.
I don't even know because maybe I kept, but then again, okay, so I got a refund and I kept it like secret in my account without Eddie knowing because I was like, if he doesn't know about it, it doesn't exist and it's
Yes.
mine. And then me, I'm like, I cannot lie to you. I got this refund. It's there.
Yes.
I can't lie.
So, with you being a stay at home mom, how do you balance it all? Like, what's the toughest thing for you?
My toughest thing is just like kind of living in an everyday routine. I just feel like I'm on autopilot every day, doing
Oh
the
my
same
God, yeah.
thing over and over again. It's so frustrating sometimes, and like it's something Eddie would never understand or anything like that. It's just very difficult. And then when he's home on the weekends, he kind of messes up my routine with them. And I'm like, you can't do that. Stick to the routine because Monday rolls around and my daughter's like, get me this, get me this. And I'm like, no, get up and get it yourself.
And go to bed. It's time to go to
Yeah.
bed. No, I totally get it. I do the same thing with Luis. It's like he's scared of telling him no or go to bed or whatever. And I'm like, no, it's bedtime. He needs to go to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give him 5 more minutes. No, he needs to go right now.
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
totally get it.
it's frustrating.
Do you feel like it's hard staying at home and having the kids? Do you feel like, in a way, maybe your partner doesn't understand that that's like literally a full time job, and it's almost harder than it is? Like, do you feel envious of your husband that he gets to go off to work sometimes?
Yeah, I do. I'm like, I would just love to switch lives for one day. You live my life and see how difficult it is, and I'll go out and deal with people, have like adult conversations with people. Like, I don't get to. I mean, I'll
Yeah,
call my
that's a
mom
hard
and my
part.
sister and stuff like that, but
That's another thing, having the
yeah.
interaction with other adults and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, when you were growing up, was there like a dream job or a career that you wanted to do?
Um, I mean, I think I always wanted to work with like special needs kids because I had a cousin that was special needs and he was so important to me. And he passed away like 4 years ago. So it's very
Sorry.
hard. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very hard. And I tell myself because I told you my son was diagnosed in utero with a very rare genetic disorder. So I just feel like maybe I was chosen for a reason because I have the patience
Yeah.
and just understanding with that.
I know sometimes you're probably like, God, why did you give me?
Yeah.
Like, do you really think I'm this strong? I
I
totally
mean,
get it. I'm the same.
I've been through hell and back. So I was like, when I found that, I was like, can't I ever just get a break?
Yeah.
Um, so it's, but like his syndrome is so rare, we don't even have any answers,
Do you
which
know,
is very
like, what's the
frustrating.
name of it, or
XXYY syndrome.
and
So,
what are like the diagnosis? Like, what is it involved? His symptoms. What are his like symptoms?
um, it's hard to say because there's really nothing on it. Like, it's
Wow.
really that rare. So it's like a form of Klinefelter's. So it's just like he's just gonna be different. He's not gonna be able. Maybe he might be um, infertile. He'll have to take like some kind of shots, like just I don't even know. And they're like doctors were like, you're going to have to talk to him and see if he wants to freeze his sperm. So I'm like, great, that's a nice conversation I'm going to have with my 16-year-old someday, seeing if he
But
wants to
yeah,
freeze his
it,
sperm just in case. So it's a lot to handle, and I kept it secret for the first like year and a half of his life, mainly because I was trying to understand what was going on, and I can't really explain what's going on if I don't even know, and I still don't have any
right.
answers.
So do you feel like as he gets older, is he going to be able to become like a regular adult in society, like
Yeah,
or do
I
you feel
do.
like he's probably going to be home for a while?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm more realistic about it, and Eddie's like, no, he'll do great. And I'm like, he probably will do great, but there's also a chance that he could live with us forever.
Yeah.
So like that's also very difficult that he doesn't really look at that aspect, and I know he wants to believe everything's going to be okay, and I want to believe that too, but there's also the reality of him not being okay.
And then with you having a daughter who
Hmm.
doesn't have any of those, I don't know what you want to call it, diagnoses.
Yeah.
Um, would you say like it makes you a little bit worrisome about trying again or having any more? Are you guys done with the two?
Well, we wanted more, but the reason we decided not to is because of me. I had really bad postpartum depression after my daughter, and I cannot go through it again. I don't know how women do it to begin with, to go through the postpartum and then decide to have another kid. I can't
Back to
mentally.
back, right?
Yeah, I can't. So
Talk a
that
little bit about the postpartum. Like, what was it? Certain things like you weren't sleeping, you felt extremely depressed.
I think what is miscommunicated with postpartum is you can feel it while you're pregnant still. So I had these feelings. Well, it'd be pre-postpartum. I don't know what it would be, but I had these feelings with my daughter where I was like, I don't want to be a mom. I don't want to be around. I'm going to give birth, and Eddie, you can have the kids. I don't want it. I want to run away. I just want to live my life. So that right there was a warning sign. And what women don't know is that they should definitely bring it up to their OBGYN.
Yeah.
So like, because it is a thing. And so after I gave birth to her, it was really, really bad. Um, I also was diagnosed with bipolar depression when I was 10 years old. So that too also played an effect to it. So, I mean, like, I'm so lucky that Eddie is a good partner because he would take care of her 90% of the time. He would let me sleep because he knew how important it was for me to get the rest that I needed. And I'm so grateful for him. But it was so bad that when he would go to work, I'd wake up and I'd just like in a panic, I would just have this weight on my chest and I'd be like, please don't leave me. Don't leave me, please. I cannot deal with her. I can't.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a terrible feeling to have
it is. I never
because you
had it
feel
with my
guilty.
son. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just something like I just wish that healthcare did more because when I was trying to find a therapist for these things, it was COVID time. So they weren't accepting new patients, they weren't accepting my insurance. And I really just don't think that
Hold on
insurance,
one second. Hold on,
sure.
it froze.